Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. Actually, Wednesday overnight. It's 2:30 in the morning when I'm recording this because I can't fall asleep because my mind is just racing as I try to go to bed after finding this story after the live stream last night and trying to put puzzle pieces together. You know how for the past few years, going back to Trump's first presidency, where everybody kind of pins this immigration problem we have, all the illegals all over the place, and the Democrats all tried to tag it as Mexicans, right? And most of us have said, no, that's not the issue. And then, of course, we went through the 4 years of the Biden debacle, and we basically let anybody and everybody in this country. And so now we have Trump on in, and, we've got problems with Haitians. Go back to up in Ohio and eating dogs. Or we've got problems with Venezuelans, like Tren de Aragua. Or we've got an Egyptian who's firebombing people in Colorado. I haven't talked about Mexicans yet, have I? Right? No. And then about, a week ago, we had the announcement come out from the Secretary of State's office. Marco Rubio had announced last Wednesday, so a week ago today, that the United States was going to start aggressively revoking visas of Chinese students. Now, there's about 277,000 Chinese students enrolled in U.S. universities around the country. You guys are probably very familiar with all the stories on, Ivy League schools, pick one, that are choosing to take foreign Chinese students, foreign Asian students as a whole, over U.S. citizen Asian students. Basically, they'll take anybody over U.S. citizen Asian students, which is hilarious because the highest test scores are coming out of those students that they're rejecting, the highest grade point averages, and they're admitting the substandard students, or they're admitting the foreign students. You get into some of the schools in the Ivy League, again, the most prestigious schools in the country, more than 50% of the student enrollment is foreign students. Why? Because foreign students pay a much higher tuition rate than U.S. students. Okay. So let's see. The colleges aren't worried about educating the best and brightest. They're worried about getting money. Harvard and its $60 billion endowment fund screaming bloody murder that the government is going to, the Trump administration, has been ending their grants. You've got $60 freaking billion. I think you're okay. All right. There was the story I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago where one of the university presidents was saying, they were going to reduce their salary so they could keep professors on staff. Like, you're making $600,000 a year. Or no, I take it back, that was $6 million a year. I don't want to hear you whine. You're okay. Your limousine is going to be there in the morning to pick you up at your mansion to go sit in your office at 10 o'clock and sip your cognac. You're okay. But no, we started announcing last week that we are going to revoke the visas of Chinese students. Wonder why. Let's take a look at what happened overnight, or actually late yesterday afternoon, okay? This is scary, that the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, is fully involved in this, trying to poison the food supply of the United States. Listen to that again. The Chinese government is actively involved with trying to poison the food supply of the United States. Right now, you have all these stories about Xi Jinping and Donald Trump trying to talk about tariffs. You have Trump wanting to put tariffs on because of all the fentanyl that is made in China being smuggled over both our northern and southern border because the Chinese are in cahoots with all the gangs and the cartels to get the drugs in here. Okay. They're doing whatever they can to kill us. Call me a xenophobe. I can just add it to my 6-foot-long business card of every other name I've been called. We all have in the last dozen years. Okay, you know, homophobe, Islamophobe, deplorable, yada yada. Add xenophobe in there. Fine, I don't give a shit. Okay. So yesterday afternoon at the University of Michigan, high quality school, no question, right? You had a research fellow, her name is Young King Jian, and her boyfriend, Zunyang Liu, who are both citizens of the People's Republic of China, and both having membership in and loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party, were charged with a criminal complaint for conspiracy, smuggling goods into the United States, false statements, and visa fraud by the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan yesterday. Okay? What were they doing? Oh, they were smuggling a fungus called Fusarium graminearum. Sorry, Latin ain't my first language, okay? Which scientific literature classifies as a potential agro-terrorism weapon. Agro-terrorism, okay? Fentanyl wasn't good enough to kill. We'll just try to kill all the people, okay? You want to know what this noxious fungus does? Well, it creates a head blight. Those of us that garden know what blight is. On wheat, barley, corn, and rice. Grain crops, okay? Eat bread, eat barley, okay? Eat corn. Have any rice in your storage? Probably. Probably got all of that. I know I have dried of all 4, okay? This fungus is responsible for billions of dollars of economic losses worldwide every year. You know what the toxins in this do? Well, they cause vomiting, they cause liver damage, and they cause reproductive defects in humans and in animals. Tell me that is not terrorism. Liver disease is bad enough. But when you are going to start harming the kids, knowingly, harming animals is bad enough. But when you now are literally causing kids to be born with birth defects because you want to bring this bioterror weapon into an adversarial country, us, okay? Remind me again that Wuhan was just a wet market. This is the crap that the Chinese are doing. I've said this for years. Russia ain't our biggest enemy. Iran isn't our biggest enemy. China is our biggest enemy. China is hell-bent on taking over the world. They play the long game. It's Chinese military theory, okay? We all talk about EMPs, right? Who are you worried about an EMP being fired by? The Russians? The Iranians? The Chinese? I'll give you 100 to 1 odds on who it is. Okay. By any means necessary, the art of war, Sun Tzu, right? Okay, we all know this. China has said many times they want to conquer their adversaries without firing a shot. Well, gee, see, if we poison their food supply and we knock out their power supply, gee, then there's nobody left and we can just stroll on in and take the country. I've said this for years. China doesn't want to destroy the United States. They want the land to be intact. They just want us gone. And they will attempt to kill us by any means necessary. They don't want to risk losing their own people. They just want to be able to come in and go, look, here's a nice city. We'll just change the signs from a Latin alphabet to their alphabet. No problem. And it'll now be the United States of China, right? We don't know all this stuff is going on. Nobody had a clue. The public, okay? You know damn well last week when Marco Rubio announced this investigation was already going on, full, deep, looking at these Chinese students. They caught 2. How many other ones are out there? This was University of Michigan. Hypothesizing here, okay? You honestly going to tell me that there's not others at University of Nebraska or University of Iowa? Really? It's not like they tried this with one student. They'll send 6. If 5 get caught, 1's in. Again, it's me speculating. I'm not saying there's other ones. Again, I'll give you 100 to 1 odds that I'm right. Okay. You wonder how safe we are. Has one already gotten through? You've all seen the stories lately about, I don't know, the bread. You know, you see these videos all the time. This loaf of bread is a year old and we push it down and it still springs right back because it's full of chemicals. What happens if one of those chemicals is this or something like it? What if something's already got through and we are ingesting it? Again, I'll go back to the Wuhan. Funny how we had all those athletes dropping dead. We're finding out about kids and hearing about turbo cancer, that they're diagnosed at 18 and dead by 19. Agro-terrorism, bioterrorism. And yet the Democrats think that we're only worried about Mexicans. Funny how I don't hear any stories about many Mexicans causing the problems in the country. Some, sure, but no more than's been the norm. But damn if it isn't weird that we're hearing all these other immigrants raising Cain in this country and causing problems. Pay attention to this story. I guarantee it ain't the end of it. Pinball out.